Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe or follow no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Gentlemen, we're going to go over Planet of the Apes, specifically from 2001. And I have to ask, does Mark Wahlberg have what it takes to get from chimpanzee to chimpanzee?
Oh, help me, Dr. Zaius.
No, he does. Mocky Mock and the Monkey Bunch, bro.
No!
Nice.
Yeah. He could not lead this film, and it's cripplingly bad.
This was the first time that I'd seen this, and let me just go ahead and say, I haven't seen any of the others. Never seen the original. This is my first introduction into a single Planet of the Apes. It was alright. Not because of Mark Wahlberg, but it was alright.
I'm right there with both of you. I think both Mark Wahlberg was almost a complete disaster, but also the rest of the movie was fine. Like, I liked a lot of things in this movie, and I feel like the things that I like, you guys are going to agree with me.
This is Tim motherfucking Burton. You know, he's got the people on board. There's Danny Elfman. You got Helena Bonham Carter, as usual, was also, in my opinion, pretty fucking weak. Tim Roth is in here. Holy shit. And he kills it. The prosthetics, 10 out of 10. And the work done by the small chimpanzee is, again, wow, just better than Mark Wahlberg. How does this chimp emote more than him?
I can see it now. You're watching. And, like, you're seeing the part where he's going through the atmosphere and just like, wow, what composure this ape has.
For real, like, think about it. The chimp loses its shit when it's crashing. The chimp emotes. Mark Wahlberg crashes, 3 times in this movie? And each time he's like, yeah, I'm from the Bronx.
I do have to say, like, every reaction shot of Mark Wahlberg, let's say discovering something, or something just, like, jumps out at him, it's just the same look you get when you're just, like, trying to look at something really high up on a shelf.
Or like you walk outside and you see no cars on your street, and then you remember that it's street cleaning day. You're like, oh yeah, okay. Like, it's not anything catastrophic. It's just you look out and you see something a little bit weird. It kind of takes you aback. That's him every time he sees something catastrophically fucking weird.
That's actually a great way to put it. Just catastrophically weird. And he runs into some fucking odd shit.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. You guys know me. Let's go talk to some animals.
But one thing I do want to throw out there, I didn't know this was a Tim Burton movie. I'd heard that this existed, knew that it was a remake from 2001, had no idea Tim Burton was attached to it, didn't know Danny Elfman did the score. This cast is stacked too. You just went over it. Like, I didn't know about any of this.
You would think that with as much talent attached to this as there is, it would have had a more resounding effect by the end. But at the end, it, I guess, for lack of a better word, it ends exactly as it started, with Mark Wahlberg standing there looking like he just... there's no better way to describe it than someone just farted, but there's no one else in the room. You know what I mean?
It takes you aback. Like, nearly every scene that he's in, he just sucks, like, I don't know what it is. He just, like, sucks the talent out of the room. I hate it. That seems pretty scathing, but, like, man, like, everybody's, like, kind of putting in a performance, whether it be kind of corny or not. But he just, like, I can't explain it any better. He just, like, has the same fucking face for everything.
Yep.
Do you think it's because they instructed him, all right, everyone around you is literally a monkey. I'm sorry, an ape. You need to do your best to be, like, a perfect, stoic human being.
Think about this, though. You're a man, and you've worked with apes, because you can't say monkey. That's dropping the M word, and that is not okay. You've worked
the fuck out of here
with apes your entire career. You've trained them, and yet as soon as your monkey, ape, gets to go on a mission, it fails completely. You end up on a planet with tons of apes, and you have no fucking clue what to do with a single one. Like, zero idea.
Yeah.
I think he knows what to do with one particular one.
Oh.
Oh, no. No, he doesn't. No. Yeah, he was just like, peace. He's like, fuck this joint.
Yeah.
Well, that gets us into the plot. So, got Space Mark Wahlberg being spaceman, and he's in the space station, and his superiors want to just discover shit in space. Fine, whatever, final frontier. I guess the smart thing to do would be not send your fucking crew out in the middle of nowhere to get diced by a black hole or something. No, you know, send them an ape out there. You know, he can push some buttons. He can send back some results. Let him take care of it.
We have top men working on it right now.
They've got a mission, and they send out this chimp, and just immediately he gets blown off course or something, loses all communications. Just got a chimp out there floating in space through a wormhole or something. There's an electromagnetic storm, some other mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's just like, huh, can't lose another one. I'm going after him.
Fuck.
But that's all right, because we get the flight of the peacock, all right? He fucking jumps in his little space traveling mobile, and he's like, the ape lasted 30 seconds. I bet I can do 10. And he is gone faster than the chimp. That chimp was more successful than Mark Wahlberg. Think about that.
I almost feel like the ape should have been kind of the star at the beginning. Because, like, the movie just, like, jumps straight in. And you're just like, Mark Wahlberg's a spaceman. He's doing space stuff. We don't get anything else. Like, he's off in space in, like, fucking 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand, like, maybe from the perspective of those filmmakers in 2000, 2001, they were thinking, like, well, how do we kind of hasten things? Because, like, the audience kind of already knows the shtick. But you completely lose whatever character he's supposed to have.
Yeah, like, is he supposed to have character? He's just a dude. Space dude.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
There's an entire space station based around exploration using chimps. Mark Wahlberg's character is the lead designer and trainer of everything that these chimps do, and he sucks at training the chimps. He rewards the chimp with a treat for having a panic attack, developing PTSD. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, Mark?
Here you go, little buddy. I got you a runt, and it's your favorite shape.
Right. Well, that just makes me feel like Mark Wahlberg's character was just completely ass at his job. Like, instead of doing his job after he was unfortunately lost in space, TM, he just fucking running guns after him. Alright, fine.
He was like the one at the end of the chopping block in Top Gun. Like, we know he's in the Air Force, but he's not like, we got to do something with him. Send him to fucking space. Let him work with chimps or something. Get him out of here. He's no Iceman.
Hey, I'll be a spaceman anytime.
For whatever reason,
Yeah.
his damn space mobile has a timeometer on it. I don't know what you would call that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Meter.
I thought it was kind of like that movie that, well, another remake of The Time Machine. I think it came out the same fucking year, that or 2002. I thought they were trying to do something like that, like as a visual reminder. Like, of course he's going through a time, but like if you think about it, that's just his calendar app, and that makes no fucking sense.
This movie is officially set in 2029, which was 28 years in the future when this movie was made. They had some really high hopes.
Ooh, yeah.
But once we go through that electromagnetic wormhole, we're in like, I don't even, 2956 or something. I don't know, way in the future. I don't know what's going on here.
Mock lands in the jungle and begins hunting the local fauna. He was then dubbed as Da Bostonian, who makes trophies of apes, and people fear him.
See, that's what it would sound like on like the screenplay, maybe the script. What actually happens is that Whistler from Blade jumps out of fucking nowhere. He's like, hey, I want you to meet my ape friends. I mean, they're vampires. I mean, they're apes.
Anytime he shows up in a movie, it kind of takes me off guard, and I'm like, is that Chris Christopherson? Shouldn't he be like playing music somewhere? Do a music festival. You don't need to leave these roles for Jeff Bridges.
Catch you fuckers at a bad time?
He's too busy hanging out with Shakira, his fucking daughter / lover / whatever, because they don't explain anything for another fucking...
I was so confused about that relationship. I really was. Is this a daughter? Is this a lover? The little Jojen looking boy, is that supposed to be her son? I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know. The only thing that I could infer, like a third of the way through the movie, they have like a little dinner scene amongst the greater apes. And they have this small jab at humans for like reproducing like crazy. So like maybe there's just like some, I don't know, pre-societal, just like they're just making babies. Like, fuck it, whatever.
We need numbers.
All I know is at the end, I'll tell you what, I'm taking her with me. No matter what, we're finding a way to fit two in that little AirPod. She can sit on my lap if she needs
thought
to.
that's what he was doing. At the end, I thought he was running over to grab her up because she's standing in the foreground and her tits are fucking huge. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
What is this shot?
Spoilers. There's even like a moment where they share a kiss, and it's fucking out of nowhere. But it's like,
It is.
I guess it's kind of already implied that like maybe, like seriously maybe. But then there's like another love interest, and you're just like, what? You know, just like.
The only implication that we would ever have of that is that they are the two most obviously attractive human characters in the movie.
Yeah.
If she was like a 5, we wouldn't even have a second thought about it. But because she is, come on.
Yeah.
And he's Mark Wahlberg, you know that like there's going to be something there. There's a spark for some reason. They're just too pretty not to.
Well, you say that, but like on Earth he could be a 5, but on Ape World that's a 10.
Like, ooh, look at that brow. So Cro-Magnon.
She's not careful. She's going to get the Neanderthal.
Damn.
Ooh,
Who could resist?
That's Encino, man.
Xeno Man.
Going on the list.
Did you guys like how they ripped the entire Luke and his X-Wing scene?
Yeah, like when the movie decides to be like a sci-fi movie, there are touches of Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, unfortunately Mark Wahlberg as well, but there's some pretty good like 2000 sci-fi stuff in here. I didn't mind like the ship design or anything like that. Actually, that goes hand in hand with the production design. I think the production design and the VFX are fucking brilliant.
100%.
Like, I'm not blown away by them, but I think they're completely solid across the board.
I got to give it up for my man Paul Giamatti. He looks incredible in that makeup.
Yeah.
His teeth are all rotten and gangly, and I don't know, man. He just sells it so fucking good. He comes off so scummy and such like a light comic relief character, even though, you know, slave trade, etc. It's dark material. He comes off so good in that role.
I would use the word smarmy. He's just smarmy.
He actually reminds me of Shmee from Hook. You know, he's just like, he's perfect for that character. On top of that, like, there are tons of great performances in this movie. Brady, you mentioned Tim Roth earlier. Yeah. Him playing that villain dude, fucking hell. Like, what a fucking performance in this movie that's just kind of dull otherwise. Paul Giamatti, fantastic.
There we go.
Our guy, Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. Or even in his short screen time. Just his verbose voice and just stage presence. Just, I don't know. It's just, there's something about these people. And then there's Mark saying hi to our moms for us.
We've also got Helena Bonobo Carter. Is that something?
Yeah, she's a monkey. She looks like her breath stinks.
All right. Since you brought it up, I do want to touch on Helena Bonham Carter's whole visual thing. The prosthetics look good. It looks as intended. I'm just not really comfortable with what they intend on with her. Like, she definitely looks the most human of all the apes, which is a problem. Like, she lies in that uncanny valley between looking like an ape and looking possibly fuckable, and that's weird.
I was going to say that, like, it definitely looks like a Mass Effect slider, and they just, like, you know, scrolled that fuckable one up all the way to 10. And it's like, wait a minute. We had mentioned earlier there's, like, a little bit of a love interest between this particular ape and Mark Wahlberg, and it's just weird. What are you trying to do, movie? like, it's just, from the moment she laid eyes on him, I guess, sure, love at first sight, but, like, there's that, like, fucking whole dissonance of a species there.
100%.
Yeah. Like, when you say, like, a love interest, I think it, like, to me at least, it just feels a little bit one-sided. Like, Mark Wahlberg's like, hey, thank you for helping me out. You know, I'm real people too, you know? And she's just like, yeah, what that dick do?
She's after it. Like, from the second she fucking sees him, and he puts a hot branding iron to her throat and is like, help me, bitch, help me. And she's like, well, I ain't been this turned on since Tim Roth's Monkey Man was yelling at me, and all I could think to say was, ook.
That whole hostage bit was just fucking silly. It's like, okay, sure, he's got her held hostage, whatever. Whispering into her ear, like, and also giving her, like, a body massage. Like, hey, help me out. Body massage.
Who wants a body massage?
So, Mark Wahlberg, a human being.
Really?
Yes. A human being. A chimp the size of a probably 6-year-old child can rip a man's arm out of socket. A gorilla can just, fucking destroy someone. These are human-sized chimpanzees, okay? They are still in that ape familia. There would be no way that Mark Wahlberg, no matter how strong he was, would pose any physical threat to Helena Bonham Carter. She could have just pulled his arm away with zero effort.
Get your paws off me, you dirty ape!
Maybe it was a ploy just to make her seem even more passive. Like, it was just, like, attributed to her personality.
You think she might be some kind of an in-betweener, like, bispecial? Is that a word? Since she looks so human, like, do you think maybe somewhere in her past lineage, maybe a human just kind of dropped their seed in there? And, like, I'm just theorizing, that's all I'm saying. And maybe she's a little bit weaker because of that. Maybe she gets turned on a little bit by the humans. I don't know.
This shit's bananas.
And what I've got here today is from Eagle Brewery. This is a banana bread beer. This is 5.2% alcohol by volume. It smells like bananas.
Sounds pretty appealing.
All right, so I've got to be honest. This is not as wild or as crazy as this movie is. This is a pretty straightforward, I think this is probably an ale, but it doesn't say anywhere on the bottle. It's got a little bit of actually like a spiciness to it. There's a little bit of like dry, bready, banana bread. That makes sense. A little bit of dry breadiness in there, but you've got just enough banana to notice. You notice that it's banana, you notice that it's bread. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, if it's trying to taste like banana bread, and you have both banana and bread as a flavor, I guess they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. So you've got a little banana, you've got a little bread. What else do you need? It's beer, 5.2%. It'll get you drunk. This is totally fine. Just like this movie, I guess.
Well, seeing how that was a bit of a winner, there's a lot of losers in this particular movie, and they're just humans. They're just all just fucking slaves at this point. They're just kind of beaten to a pulp. They're used as cattle, used as indentured servants. Humans are out and apes are in.
Yeah, they're even used as pets. Like, you get that one girl stumbling in there just like trying to find like the right little girl to take home, to keep in the cage, like she's a little puppy or something.
That's true.
I thought the escape was 100% worthless. They lock him up, he reaches out, unlocks it with his bare hand, is like, hey, look, you can turn a knob, and then they just walk out of there while you got Michael Dark fucking Clunkin. What's his name?
Brady, you can't say that.
He's the perfect guy to cast for that, because his voice and his size just go hand in hand. He's like a real-life Kratos or something.
Oh, is this right before he gets dispatched with a torch of some type? I've got that written down, but I don't remember it very well.
I think so, because like this is when they escape and everything. There's a big old ruckus, and they run through like a fucking room where some apes are just banging it out. And I just got the same feeling as I did when I saw Duck Tits and Howard the Duck. I was just like, okay, thanks, movie.
Well, yeah, that's turned me on to a new thing, I guess.
Did you guys enjoy that the ape foreplay was crunk dancing?
I mean, it's just fucking weird, and it lasted all of 3 seconds as they're breezing by like it's a Benny Hill skit.
Well, that's how my foreplay usually goes anyway, so.
Were they all connected? Was every room connected? Because they just ran in a straight line through everyone's home.
They're knotted up like a dog.
Oh.
I guess I don't quite remember like anything establishing.
No.
They just they had Ape Town, and then each individual ape kind of had their place, like a room.
So it's like an ape commune?
What's the equivalent of like an ape Kowloon?
Ooh, there's probably a pun in there. Audience, down in the comments, leave your best monkey puns.
Well, now that the gang is all together and stuff, they're of course trying to escape, and like Mark Wahlberg being the blank slate that he is, like, come on everybody, we're gonna go say hi to my mom. And they're kind of like jaunting through the forest, and they have these like weird moments of speciesist being fuck. I don't even know. They just have these like bubbling arguments between each other, just like, oh, I'm a slave and I hate you. And Helena Bonham Carter's like, well, I own slaves, but I don't like it.
Yeah, like there's a little bit of tension building, but so far at least, everybody's on the same side. They get out to this little hole where he's crash landed his little AirPod. Man, I didn't know that apes couldn't swim. Did you guys know that apes can't swim?
No.
I, in fact, did know that apes cannot swim.
Oh. Well, I didn't, and I was too afraid to say anything.
Well, I'll tell you, I Googled it. Apes can fucking swim. What's this movie trying to do?
Yo, what the fuck? Tim Burton?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
They taught me wrongst.
In fact, having learned that just now, it kind of like throws away the whole plot of the movie, because there's a specific area where like the main antagonists are very close to killing everybody, and they're on the wrong side of the river.
Now we have the big battle. Why does all this big battle go down? Do you want to know why? Because Helena Bonham Carter was Tim Roth's woman. She is an ape. She wants to have her world changed by Mark Wahlberg's Ballpark Frank. He starts making excuses to the Senate as to why this is unacceptable and that he needs to rescue his fair lady. Therefore, they must castrate and basically commit human genocide to save her virtue.
Yeah, let's go lynch us some humans.
Hell yeah, brother. Grab the torches and pitchforks. Let's go get them.
I'm slowly realizing that there's not a whole lot left of this movie. This is just running till we get to the place.
Yeah.
And then all the bad guys being the apes, following them to the place. Not a whole lot happens till we get to the place.
You're right. The first hour, all apes. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
The last hour, Mark Wahlberg wanders through the desert aimlessly for seemingly fucking forever, and then blows up a bunch of apes.
We got Ape Moses trying to find Ape Jesus.
Yes. Mock is God. And Shakira wants his Frank, too. His Ballpark Frank.
Huh.
His big Fenway slider.
Sure, yeah, the Fenway Frank, yep. I guess in my head, I more associated her with like a Scarlett Johansson kind of vibe.
Kinda,
I can
yeah.
see Shakira, though. Yeah.
But on your point, Chandler, you're right. It's just like walking to a place, and then the people following them finally arrive as well. They have this like moment where they kind of put together this plan. It turns out the twist in this movie, they didn't find the Statue of Liberty, so we got to do something else. So they find the spaceship or space station that Mark Wahlberg left forever ago. Actually, almost an hour and a half ago.
But it is ruins. It is in the desert, halfway buried in sand. You can tell this has been here. The chimps say this has been here for thousands of years.
As you coined earlier, this is catastrophically terrible. And he's just like, what? Impossible. Man.
So you're a dog, right? What's that all about?
The power still works. I wonder if my 8-track of Boston's still in there.
The 8-track of Boston got me, because he would totally use More Than a Feeling to swoon what's her name over there.
No, you need foreplay.
Long time, I hear.
Yeah. So we've exhausted the number of Boston songs that I know by now. Got to the end of that list.
We've run out of monkey puns and Boston songs. I don't know what's left besides just bitching about Marky Mark's performance, because it's just garbage.
Did you see the perfect storm go? Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
Other than their trek, the rest of this movie it's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it's kind of framed and the way that Mark Wahlberg just literally just walks through this whole movie. Not just by, not just the travel, just like he just like waltzes through the plot. He's like, oh shit, I found my ship. Oh, it kind of works. Let's lure him in for a trap. I'll blow him away. And it just seems kind of like haphazard, but it comes out of fucking nowhere, and it kind of solves the problem, I guess.
So it's been there for 1,000 years, but somehow that ship still has a full battery.
Well, see, that doesn't matter because this is also Brave Mock. He takes some poop, smears it on one half of his face, and yells freedom, and then you get a human versus ape battle finale where humans are somehow overpowering 9-foot-tall apes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have to. Yeah, that fucking that kind of irritated me. Not just that, but like you have the one-on-one with Tim Roth and Mark Wahlberg, and like fucking Mark Wahlberg's getting slung all over the fucking place because he just got thrown by a great ape. Probably pretty rough.
One thing I do need to mention, man, the gravity or lack thereof in this situation. Like, it's not a gravity, because apes don't do that. They can't fly. This is not like the Wizard of Oz or something. They don't have wings. These apes get up in the air. Like, really high up in the air. Just by their own legs, just their own locomotion. Apes can't do that. Tim Burton, do you know that?
Fun fact number 2. Not only can apes swim, but they have amazing hang time.
For real.
It's probably a product of the time. So, like, this is just crouching tiger, hidden monkey. Fuck it. Whatever.
All I could think was when Tim Roth, as Thade, literally slaps God 30 foot across the room into a wall. God then crawls into a cage to die quietly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, for whatever reason, the third act has to have a surprise. Well, another surprise. The real monkey man shows up. He's like, oh shit, that's him. That's Abe. Jesus has come back after at least 3 days. And fucking Tim Roth just punts him. It's the funniest thing in the whole movie.
To be fair, if Jesus Christ himself came back down to Earth, someone is punching that dude.
See it genuinely. Like, don't get me wrong. Would it be dumb as fuck? Yeah. Would someone try to do it? You fucking know they would.
Yeah, for sure. It's clout.
Even if he's preaching like the stuff that everyone wants to hear, someone is punching Jesus, probably in the dick.
You can't make money off the word unless you sell the word.
Chad.
That's true.
So get this guy out of here. He's ruining business.
Yeah, so we got the original fucking Jesus ape coming down, and this is Pericles, the ape from the beginning, the one shot out into space.
Terrible name for an ape, too. Like, how do you not call him Perry? Then I realized that'd have to be a platypus.
Yeah, honestly, like, I was looking up, see if there was, like, some connection between, like, the myth of Pericles and what this chimp might be up to. I only got, like, a paragraph into the Wikipedia article and got bored, so if y'all know, fill me in. Put it down in the comments.
Probably just sounded cool.
Sounds Roman or Greek or something. That's old.
But then again, we get another prime example of how this primate can emote better than Mark Wahlberg. He pops open his little astronaut helmet, flashes a big toothy smile, his eyes go wide, and he gives a big thumbs up. More than Mark has done this entire movie.
For real. And did you see everybody's face when the little ape man got out of his ape ship? Everybody's like, oh shit, look at that dude. Yep. Hell yeah. You see the fist bumps from all the bad guys? Like, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they really went ape shit.
Oh, excellent.
And even though this is like a little goofy, it boils down to like, you know, everybody finding out this is all kind of horse shit. And Tim Roth, he's like, hey guys, you're my friend. Let's kill these humans. But the jig is up. He kind of bullies himself into the corner.
Yeah, I get, like, conveniently enough, there's like one button that you can press on this ship that just locks a room that happens to be like bulletproof and conveniently convenient, you know? That's all you gotta do. It's a prison cell. All you have left to do is stay in there and monkey around.
They lock him up in there because only Mark Wahlberg has the clearance to unlock it. But here we go.
Right.
Actually, it's because he's the only one with opposable thumbs.
Whoa. Everybody got them thumbs. They got them on their feet, too. They got more thumbs than we do.
Yeah, but opposable, though, that's different, though, right? Do chimps have opposable thumbs?
I know, they have them.
Then cut all that out.
I didn't do fucking shit!
All the while, Paul Giamatti's just trying to sell some aspirin.
Oh my god. He's, again, just the fact that he's got a bottle of pills shaking them for children. Like, human and ape alike. Where did these little ape kids come from, though?
Yo, that's not the question that I want answered. I want to know where all the humans that exist on this planet, where they came from.
Well, I mean, suggested by the movie, they were always here, I think.
The script said far and wide, therefore they came from both far and wide.
The movie shoots itself in the foot right at the end. So, like, everything comes together. Haha, Mark Wahlberg gets off the planet. Smooch, smooch, question mark.
Wait, no. I've got more questions. We're circling back. These humans were here, and then a single chimpanzee crash landed on this planet, and somehow evolution happened. We get thousands of years later. There's a whole bunch of apes and humans.
It's implied that these apes existed after a human societal collapse.
Okay, where did the rest of the apes come from? You telling me this is an asexual reproduction?
No, these apes are from the spaceship. That's the loop of the movie. That's the whole time loop. That's why his ship is on the planet. It's because his monkey is the reason why we have all these other monkeys. And I use the M word again, unabashedly.
We're going to have to get FCC Eric in here to sort of cancel that out. Okay, so the handful of monkeys that were on this ship, handful of apes that were on this ship escaped and started reproducing on this planet, and that's how we got the abundance of ape speciation that we have. But humans were already here?
Happened off screen, therefore it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just trying to get the evolutionary timeline straight.
See, forever ago, maybe thousands of years, James Franco raised an ape, and then all those apes got out, and they start chomping people's thumbs off. And then we had like 8 more ape movies, and then Mark Wahlberg shows up like, hey, let's do it again.
But my question is, when does Dunstan check in?
About Clyde.
Clyde?
Because he went every which way but loose.
Oh, something about Curious George. They should have put fucking Mark Wahlberg in a yellow hat.
I mean, at least it would have made him interesting, you know?
As it is, he is specifically an dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just an avatar through this whole movie. In fact, the way he kind of consumes his journey kind of makes me feel like he's just playing a VR game. He's just the dude with the headset.
You know what I like? Anytime they ask him, like, who or what he is, like the humans or the chimps, he's just like, yeah, I'm first name, last name, Air Force.
Best of the best of the best, sir.
Doesn't say anything else about who he is, where he came from, you know, what he does. He's not like, you know, Brad Taylor from
Home Improvement?
Oh, yeah, fuck. I don't know why I said the name Brad Taylor. That's just the most fucking... the most white bread, middle America name I could think of.
Your interpretation, Eric, of the idea that he is an avatar, like a video game, is fucking perfect. Because he doesn't have to say anything. He just selects an option, and all the NPCs around him fill in the holes.
Well, he's about to fill in a hole.
No, by all means, finish it.
Well, he's about to fill in a hole when he goes back to visit that planet, no, I mean.
Now, can we talk about this fucking shit-ass stinger and why it didn't matter?
I saw this. This happened. I threw my notebook across the room. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, like, I'll reiterate, it shot itself in the foot. Like, I don't know why the fuck they put this in here. Like, they try... I know... They tried for the gravity of the twist in the original movie. The thing is, that movie is so ubiquitous with pop culture, you don't even have to see it, and people know what damn dirty apes are, or the phrase.
Yeah.
So in this movie, which is self-contained, it's fine. It works. For some fucking reason, the last 2 minutes of this movie are this bullshit, just kink in the plot for no fucking reason other than shock factor. But if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, you're frustrated.
So Mark Wahlberg in his little AirPod spaceship, he's going to crash land. Where's he going to crash land? Straight down on Washington, D.C. Can't land in the water where astronauts always land because that's the safest spot. No, we're going to crash land on the steps of this memorial that we have here.
Yeah, and that's like the big reveal. He crashes, steps out. Instead of, seeing the Statue of Liberty, he looks up at another famous monument, the Lincoln Memorial. And instead of Abraham Lincoln, of course, we have to go with Abraham Lincoln.
Fucking Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like they don't spell that out, but it's the only thing that you can say that's fucking Abraham Lincoln. Get the fuck out of here.
And after that, Tim Burton never worked again, I hear.
Yeah, but evidently that's supposed to be the what's his name? The Tim Roth monkey character. I don't know what he came down. He came down, freed the slaves, was a great man as far as I can tell.
It just doesn't make any sense any way you put it. Mark Wahlberg goes back into space. He goes back through time, but the time that he goes to is technically after he left, because that would mean the ape society would have to improve and kind of get back where humans were before it collapsed.
Why would the ape society, which is like 1,000 years into the future, why would someone from that society, go back in the past, come to our planet, Earth, and change shit from that? Why? And why is it the bad guy? Why is it it could have been any other ape on that planet, but it's the bad guy?
Duh.
You have one crazy option here. All right, and we spent 2 hours watching the same movie, gentlemen. Tim Roth's character is the villain. They lock him up. He struck God and was renounced by his only friend and everyone who saw it. Okay, this guy is unredeemable in the eyes of anyone.
Judas.
Suddenly, I mean, you're not wrong. And then suddenly, he is Abraham Lincoln. So, what the fuck did we spend 2 hours watching? if this is how it ends.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Everyone's right. There's no logical explanation for this. You can stretch as much as you want. I think the only thing that I can think of that would mildly patch this is that when he went through the magnetic storm a second time, he entered like another dimension, but that's just such a fucking cop-out that why? Just what's the point?
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Another dimension.
Nah, I'd rather listen to the Beastie Boys song and watch this again, to be honest.
100%. Hello Nasty is a great record. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm right there with you, yeah.
All right, so for me, this movie has so many strong points because I'm a visual person. When I want to watch a movie, I want things to look cool, I want it to grab my attention, and I want to be entertained. And for the first fucking hour after Mark Wahlberg disappears, like into space or whatever, and we get the chimp world, holy shit, is it cool? Is it super fun? They got a history, they got all these things going on, we got Tim Roth knocking it out of the park, and then it has to become Mark Wahlberg's vehicle. And once he takes the wheel, he just offers nothing. It almost reflects even in the scenery. We go from this interesting setting to this super bland setting. So interesting characters, interesting setting, super bland character, super bland setting. And the movie kind of falters there. So for me, cool to look at, not rewatchable.
There's a lot of this movie I really like. Like I mentioned before, the visual effects, the makeup, fantastic. There's some great performances too. Paul Giamatti, TM, Tim Roth, Michael Clark Duncan, fantastic. Mark Wahlberg is such a black hole of charisma. At the end of the day, it was better than I remembered, but it's just mostly dull.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this was a first watch for me, and it'll probably be a last watch. This was actually not as bad as I expected. I expected it to be terrible, though. As you mentioned, like a lot of the visual effects, the costumes, the makeup, that is mostly really good. A lot of the acting is mostly really good. Just reiterating what you guys have said here, because I agree with most of it. I don't regret watching this, but that's all I got.
Well, there you have it. That was Planet of the Apes. No, not that one. Yeah, that one. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave in the comment section below.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to hit that bell icon. Hit all the other buttons too so you don't ever miss what we have brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We got all that crazy stuff. You can even find us on YouTube and wherever podcasts are available. Give us a listen. Sometimes we're funny. Sometimes we just go apeshit and get covered in CMOS.
Oh no.